Hello, everyone. Welcome to Innovator Coffee, a podcast that bridges the people and the AI and innovation. Follow us to explore the top AI applications, latest AI trends, and emerging tech. Today, we're honored to have Jie and Laura as our guest. Hey, Jie and Laura, can you help us have a quick introduction of yourself?
Okay, I'll let Laura go first.
Oh, no, Jie, you go first.
Okay, I'll start. So I'm currently the Chief Scientific Officer at the Human-AI Symbiosis Alliance. So we call it in short HISA, H-A-I-S-A, HISA. So my role there is leading the engagement with the scientific community and collaborating with human-centered AI research, with top universities and institutes, including MIT Media Lab and the Mohammed bin Zayed University of Artificial Intelligence in Abu Dhabi. I hold a PhD in human-computer interaction. So in my past 10-12 years work, I focus on designing and evaluating human experiences for emerging technologies. So I spent almost 5 years, working on extended reality before COVID, and now I gradually shift the focus to human-AI interaction. I don't know if you know me. I go just beyond my research career. I'm also a pastry chef, so I'm like a founder of a brand called Cake Researcher. So baking is also part of my job, and my cake videos are currently featured as part of the Grand Dessert exhibition at the Art Museum of The Hague. And thank you for inviting me. I'm excited to discuss, my views and my opinion about this AI trend.
Wonderful. Laura?
Yeah, thank you, Vicky, for inviting. So I'm actually working in a Series A startup in the Bay Area. And I'm now the growth head in the company. Previously, I exited one my own startup, and that is also about AI. So right now I'm doing AI image-to-image model, and also for like virtual staging for real estate agents in North America. And I'm also alumni of Stanford, Google, and Meta. So I'm also HCI background previously. So just with so I'm just working with Jie for some of the papers to explore human AI collaboration, and also we are setting up more papers in the future. Yeah.
Thank you for introduction. Yeah, HCI is definitely a very hot topics related with AI. My first question is, what's the most awesome and wonderful scenarios or use cases you have observed in the time area for HCI? So how AI is shaping the ways of human computer interaction right now? Yeah, could Jay give some input?
Yeah, for me, if I just think about it now, I think one use case really caught my attention is how many people are using, AI like ChatGPT as a conversation companion now. So it's not just, I don't mean we use it for like a work or quick answers, but using it as something very personal. So I see people using it as a friend, a therapist, or even a late night like a secret chat, and I'm also surprisingly to see I don't remember where I saw this research, but the research found that people are actually very open with AI. They don't necessarily share things with their therapist or even close friends, but they can be really honest with AI because they perceive it to be like emotional safe with AI. I think there is a huge area of research, not just researching on how to advance this AI tool, but how we research the tools, just to to help us better understand the education and the mental health of our kids and ourselves.
Yeah, interesting. How do you think, Laura?
Yeah, so I find AI has changed many of the product interaction and also the product design workflow, especially when we are now working for iterating new product and new versions. We are using more AI in this workflow, less like designers needed, but more AI input, especially for the very early stage brainstorming and also prototyping. And also I also see many entrepreneurs and startup founders, they are using some vibe coding tools like Replit or Cursor to very quickly start their to test their ideas, and also they can get very beautiful prototype, which is totally different than before, which is much easier. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, I think another use case we want to mention is like because we are worried, as UX researchers, UX designers. I don't know if you've heard of tools like synthetic users. So basically, they just use large language models to somehow mimic the real user behavior. Like you can build a personas to say, okay, I need 10 personas around this use case, and later we can just interview those personas instead of real users. I have been using this tool as experiment for myself and for some areas of research, like for instance luxury products research. That category, synthetic users output is really accurate. But of course, for other domains like medical stuff, it's not as accurate as the real users. But still, it really already showed it's going to impact many ways of how we work and even how we do research. So that's just another use case just popped into my mind.
Yeah, because I previously do research in some corporate company, and we should remember all like different templates, and also maybe go to our database to find some templates. But right now, right now I can only use GPT to do some analysis and provide the templates at first, and I only need to do some qualitative data collection like interviews, and also put those quotations into AI tool, and they can give me some basic image of how our users looks like. Yeah, also changed my workflow for doing this user study.
Laura， 你可以坐起来一点吗？现在你的水能看到一半，就是稍微再高一点点，这样子效果好一点。
OK， 这样好，这样可以吗？
这样好多。Okay, yeah. Sounds really good. Recently I saw Jie and Laura had a paper, right, which has a great citation right now. So can you give us some information regarding why this paper and related product worth attention?
Yeah, I think me and Laura actually met on social media. So we started working together before we met each other in person. So that's really something I think the power of social media can really bring us together. So I want the story behind this paper, just, when we say we want to work together, then we have this idea because everyone at that time was, I think it's the DALI, right? It's just the beginning of DALI. And we just see, okay, as a designer myself, I was trained to produce, great designs over almost 2 decades, but with tools like DALI and diffusion. Is that diffusion? Then people can generate nice images, without being a designer, being trained as designer. So I think that was our first kind of curiosity driven. I go, okay, we have this kind of amazing tool. What's this going to impact our designers? The reason why we choose UX designers, like both me and Laura, I worked in a consultancy company. I was leading a UX research team and also working closely with UX designers. So it's for us, it's like we really want to understand, organizational changes with this new type of tool. What is going to be the new workflow, and what are people, UX designers' concerns about it? I think our paper, it's published at Chi 24 as a full paper, and I think the great advantage is like we captures real voices of UX designers, right? So we really talked to 20 UX designers from big techs, from startups, and we navigate, ask them to navigate us how generative AI change their way of working or even their perception of design. Yeah, I think that I really like one conclusion we made about the paper, and we actually present that conclusion in a single slide when I was presenting, and people took a lot of photos of that slide. It's like we concluded in like AI interpolates, because AI only generates, based on the known patterns. So it can only generate based on the data it has. But as humans, we extrapolate. So that means we can create based on the beyond the data we know. So we can think out of the box. We are not limited by the data we already know. Actually, create new things based on the data we know. We also noticed, I think, the differences between experienced designers and junior designers. For junior designers, I think the concerns are more about, how we are going to improve ourselves and get the proper training as, before AI era. As designers, you got official training and you develop your skills over decades. But nowadays with Gen AI can already replacing, a lot of junior design work. How junior designers going to learn to reach the level of senior designers? So that's the main takeaways from our paper, but it's a super long paper with a very in-depth discussion. So I would welcome everyone to read our paper.
Laura, do you want to say something here as well?
Yeah, I think for me, I think I can take place of some people like this. We worked as a UX researcher in corporate, and in 2022, many of us in Silicon Valley, we were worried about our job security because many companies, they're laying off people, and I just saw that kind of worry in the companies because many of the UX researchers, they are also thinking, or they are doing something to use AI to replace that job. So I just saw that trend. So I was curious about for this topic research, what will we earn? What can we learn? And also what can we do if we know our ultimate maybe our job will be replaced. What can we do? So I think the paper was a great success since we had a conclusion that the human AI interaction was still very important chain because although AI can do many things, the results still need humans' evaluation and also judgment to push forward in the whole workflow. So maybe in the near future, our jobs will not be replaced, but we should embrace AI in the future and also learn how to use AI. Yeah.
Yeah, so basically the goal of this paper is try to understand what's the impact of the AI to the human AI interaction UX area, right? And then after that, you're happy to say actually AI can now replace people, and you also find out there are a lot of how AI can help in this area, which is great. Maybe that's the reason a lot of people did made a citation from your paper.
But I also heard actually from like opposite voice from Professor Hiroshi Ishii. He's not very optimistic about AI, so he always say. I think that's also from one participant of our interview. When we mentioned this phrase, I got, "Do you think AI is going to replacing you?" And he got very emotional. I even remember who he is, but I cannot tell the name. He get really emotional about replacing him. He just said, like the future of human AI is not just about what AI can do. It should be about we as humans, we as designers, what we want AI to do for us. If I'm just a designer, I enjoy doing this tedious design work myself. I enjoy it, and AI shouldn't replace me. I can choose which task AI can help me, but not let AI decide what they can help me. So that's like a bit emotional talk. But that's also aligned with Professor Hiroshi Ishii's concept. It's more like, in the future, it's not just AI getting evil, going to replace us, but the people, behind with evil intentions can really make AI do harm to us. But we as a human has to guard the line and carefully choose what we want AI to intervene and what we don't want AI to intervene. Also in our paper, we actually list out, based on our interview with UX designers, what AI can do and what AI cannot do. Yeah, that's just some thoughts came to my mind after Laura mentioned.
Thank you. Yeah, we have been interviewing a lot of people in the Silicon Valley. So there's one shared opinion I want to share, that many people think that AI is the amplifier. That means that it amplifies your ability. For example, if primary school kids talking with AI can only give some results of 3+3 things, but doctor degree holders, he can ask really deep. So he can make use of the AI tool very well. So yeah, it's kind of an amplifier, but it depends on your ability and your knowledge, know-how on your industry. Yeah, so many people have this experience. But looking back, actually this is AI has a long history, probably dating back to AlexNet 2012. I remember I also do some research before, for the UI style. Back to 2017 and 18, there was a style transfer. Back in then, we were playing with games and turn the photos into the oil painting like Van Gogh. And we also, I showed this to the painter, US painter, and he was amazed. But right now, then a lot of things changing on. We know that ChatGPT already released image generation feature recently. Google's model was also recognized for this ability a lot. So within the whole range of the history, how do you think that this history is going on for the procedures, and could you share the recognized opinions about this interaction scenes with AI among major players? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly as you said, AI is not new. There were AI applications we used daily already. If I mention a few, maybe people are not aware they are using AI applications, like our GPS navigation, for instance. It's AI, and our spam filters, our email spam filters, and credit card fraud detections, even the search engines, Google autocorrect, and the voice assistants we're using. They're all AI assistants, but somehow it's remain unknown. Even the vacuum cleaner, the robotic vacuum cleaner at home, they are AI assistants. But before generative AI, I think people are not aware of AI technology around them, because to them it's like a black box. It's algorithms. They use the final products, but they don't have this direct, conversational interaction with AI. I think because of ChatGPT open you have the browser, you have like a chat input. You can just type your questions and get answers immediately. This type of very simple, direct, almost we've never thought about we can use AI in this way, but it somehow make AI visible and personal to everyone. So I can imagine my grandma, my kid, who never written a line of code can now use and talk about AI. So I would say the change is not about AI is new. The change is about generative AI democratize, the access and drastically change the relationship, people have with AI as a technology. So this somehow also reminds me almost 2 decades ago to 20 years ago when we started to have internet, when we used to read magazines, books on print, all the ads are printed out on papers. So imagine, do you still remember the Yahoo websites, the early 2000 website design? It's just overly crowded with flashing pictures and text. You barely can find anything on those kind of websites. But it takes many, many years actually to shift from print design to digital design. So nowadays we can see design systems, accessibility guidelines are very, very strict for web pages, apps. But reaching this standard takes us 20 years, and even we call human-centered design process to fit into this new design space. Because AI doesn't behave like a button. It's not a button anymore. It's not a screen anymore. AI, it learns, it responds to us. It starts like a lovable AI. They receive feedback from us. They're adapted, they change, they improve. And the outcomes of the AI are kind of, they are statistics. They are probabilistic. They are not like 1 + 1 equals to 2, because even you chat with GPT, you type the same question twice, you won't get exactly the same answer. So it's not like deterministic, all the AI outcomes. And the interfaces is, like I said, it's not a button, push a button anymore. It's more conversational and adaptive. So all these changes, including in the future, if we are thinking about we are going to interacting with AI systems in extended reality, mid-air gestures, if you imagine all this kind of technology integrate together, what will be the designer's role? We cannot just limit ourselves to screen design anymore, like we just cannot limit ourselves to paper design when we start to have internet 20 years ago.
Thank you. During the GTC meetings last week, and Jason Wang shares the procedures of AI from like a specific AI to generative AI to agentic AI, right, to physical AI finally. So how do this fit into the domain of design? Do you have some inputs, Laura? Yeah, so the AI is taking the way from the specific AI like object detection to generative AI, right? Then right now it's agentic AI. People are building agents. Finally, the physical AI, like robotics, right? So in the area of design and HCI, do you think similar things happen, or any other trending and changing things happening?
Yeah. So I think I saw many of the fellow designers, researchers, as well as product managers, they are using such so-called agentic AI to help them to do the prototyping and product design. And also whatever, like for big corporate like Figma, or Google, they are also changing their traditional design workflow and also add many like Copilot, and they are also building the AI agent. I think in the future, AI agent will be like apps in the Web 2.0 era. Many people, they can do their own agent, and also the agent platform is like App Store, and we can maybe download different agents to help us to do that. But this time, I think cursor and text to code tools, they are like very very popular because they are innovating the way of making new products. You do not need to know about how to coding, but you can iterate your idea into one prototype. For me, I also tried some projects by myself. Previously, I could not imagine that. Many people, if they do not have the coding knowledge, they can also do that. And also during the traditional like design workflow, previously we only use Figma, but now we see many different AI design tools. They can just do the text to design, which is very different than before. Maybe for some design systems, we need to think about how to do the icon or colors for like several months to conform the design system. But right now we can only do this in several days. Such tools really help us improve the efficiency, and also they increase our creativities, I think.
Wow, that's great. Traditionally, I feel like the UX area is super important when you have a startup, right? It's like after you have a great team and you have great product, actually the UX part is try to connect your product and your end users, and try to give the best user experience, right? And it's kind of interesting. We try to understand why has a seemingly simple technology approach only being widely used now, and what are the challenges in the implementing this technology in the past?
Or text to design, right?
Yeah.
I think so. The whole design workflow is not simple because they need different functions of people to work together. For example, at first maybe the researcher and then researcher will pass the knowledge to designer, and designer can design the prototype based on the user's feedbacks, and then the front-end engineer will use the design and then push the code forward into the website. And I think the most challenging part is here. Some designers, if they are prototype or the links on Figma were not very clear, so front-end engineers need more time to understand the design and also to write the front-end code. But now, for this integrated this process, we can save the time here. Maybe some junior designers will be replaced because the front-end engineers can do this part by themselves. The front-end engineers, maybe they have they had several years of experience, and they know much about how to integrate the code, and they have the basic I think the judgment of how good the website is. So right now they can use the text to design tools to do the front end work by themselves. I think so does designer. I also see some designers, they are learning how to use the vibe coding tool, like what I said, Replit or Cursor, because previously, after they doing the design, they hand off the design to the front-end engineer. Their work has been done. But right now, if they go to the next step, they can do not only a design but integration. So their responsibilities also increased, and they learn much more. And also, that part is not hard for them. This will not require them to know more like basic front-end coding, but they can do that. So this is very different. Yeah.
Yeah. So currently, we just talked about the first piece of workflow for the UX, right? Which is kind of like after you give the requirements, and then designer make a design, and then engineer try to realize it from the coding standpoint. How about the iterate part? Like after the initial design, we got feedback, and then we do the iteration, right? From this standpoint, what's the previous process and how AI help innovate in this part?
Yeah, for later iteration, previously we just iterate the first stage, because either designer and front-end engineer, they may not take the fully control of the whole process. I think maybe front-end engineer will be, because the later iterations may related to some small changes, like users are not satisfied with the buttons or confused with some buttons, and the front-end engineer can do the quick iteration by themselves. And I think right now, I think either designer and front-end engineers, they can do this part by themselves. So this improves, I think, the communication efficiency and also the collaboration work, because they can realize their ideas more quickly. They do not have to depend on others to do that. The only challenge is who makes the decision making. If they should listen to like product manager, CEO, or they can have the fully control of the process. Yeah. So this also changes, I think, the organization management hierarchy. Yeah.
Yeah. So so from the iteration process, right? Normally we get data from user side. Does the data scientist play the role within the whole process here?
Yeah. So I think because I'm in a startup, and I'm taking charge of the growth part. So I'm also doing more like data science work, US researcher, and also some marketing jobs. So I think for me, I can influence some kind of decision making, but maybe in corporate right now, they should still do some negotiation to finally make the decision. Yeah, but data science is still the biggest, I think, the biggest factor in the late stage, the change of the product, because we should iterate based on the user's data and also their both qualitative and quantitative. Yeah, user behavior.
So designers start to make a design, and then designer also need to collaborate with engineer to understand how their design can be realized based on the real technology. And then after that, engineers start to make it happen in the website, and also try to get a feedback maybe from the user data or data scientist analysis result, and then iterate the whole process, right? But currently, after we have the AI and AI tool, maybe we can combine all those 4 roles, maybe to 1 to 2 roles actually.
Yeah.
And then which I think it actually help simplify the process, but at the same time, it also requires people to understand better about the other side, right? So we say we can make a combination, but it requires people to learn different skill set and try to understand the basic. So when they interact with AI, they can do a better job. Is that correct?
Yeah. I think the most important part is how to evaluate the result, either for design and the coding part. If AI provides the result, how will you evaluate who to make the decision? Yeah, in the end.
And currently, this part AI cannot replace.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
which is a super important conclusion from your research as well, right?
Yeah. I add on question. Then I've been working with many designers, and as a designer, actually they can code using cursor. And the basic questions they may have is still the engineer IT part. Like they say, oh, I have the coding. Then what is MVC and what is the database and later architectures? So yeah. But on the other hand, as a developer, normally we do design also using the design tools, as you said. But my question is how we can understand design better, because the design typically you want to convey something. Yeah, you have an idea, you want to convey something, and if it's talking about the web design, and you reflect this in your kind of a lot of details, like fonts, like layouts, like margins, and like paddings, those very detailed things. But as a developer, we can using the AI to generate design, but we cannot really make decisions and to say this is good looking or elegant or like really convey the idea that we want to convey. So this part, do you have some tips for the developers like me, how we can improve our decisions or better use of design tool to generate good design?
I think the short answer is if you do more projects, you will know the sense. So since currently both design and coding are not the like block for doing the project, maybe I think getting users' feedbacks and do the user testing quickly will be an important thing, because finally you should know the taste of the whole market and who will be your real customers. So so maybe communicate with more like experts, and also get close to users will help you understand if you only if the whole team in the future you will be the only member, how can you do a perfect product and to earn the money.
Thank you.
It sounds like the designer who can use the AI tool and the engineer who has sense of like design can be the survivor in this battle, right?
Actually, I don't think so, because I saw my friends, they had several projects from Cursor. They built several projects from Cursor, and the whole front end the framework looks very good. AI has the basic the basic requirement of that kind of the looks good. So I don't think it will make your project chaos. The range of the whole thing is become looks good to looks perfect, but not like before, like maybe you design something but looks really bad. It just cut off that option. So we will have the baseline for the front end framework, which is good.
Jie, do you want to add something?
I'm still dwelling about your term. You mentioned this technology to be simple. So I don't think it's a simple technology. Otherwise, it won't reach us, until 2 years ago. So I think it's still about the readiness. So we have this algorithm, AI algorithm for decades. And even technologies like neural networks and deep learning. I'm not an expert for that, but I hear those terms for the past 2-3 years. I know they have been existing for years. But only now, we have this right mix of things to make AI a bit more practical for everyday use because of the fast computing, the massive amounts of data. We accumulated enough substance in order to make AI to be useful for us. So we talked about this text to design and how that's going to help designers and developers. For me, I don't use those tools for my work, but I see obstacles more about organizational mindset. So how many companies do we know? I don't know about Silicon Valley, but in Europe, people are more conservative. So I don't know, even my clients, where I worked with a consultancy before, just to persuading clients to adopt this kind of new tools. Even just adopt. I even cannot say like a text to design type of tool, but just a chatbot, to improve their customer service. It's also already an obstacle for many companies. I think the challenges of implementing this is not about how designers going to collaborate with developers. It's more about the whole organization or how they are going to rethink the way they work. And how these tools can really, build into the current workflow. Like if you imagine how they are going to replace Figma, for instance. So these are big questions. It's not just something you can change overnight. Another thing I think Laura also mentioned, I think that's also in our paper, right? Like AI can generate so many concepts in seconds. And who decides which one to pick? And what's the process for reviewing, iterating, critiquing AI generated work? It's not about just aesthetics. It's just how do teams maintain authorship and accountability, when they decide on the design output in collaborating with AI. So that's just all the questions keep on popping up in my mind, and I want to do a lot of research in that space. It's not just about become experts in using these text to design tools, but how the whole organization, even the whole UX design community going to change adopting those new tools.
Yes, I think it's similar to what's like junior people and the expert, right? Like the critical part is critical thinking and decision making.
Yep.
Yeah. So now I think the advantage of a human compared to AI can be there that area as well. Very interesting to think about it.
Next question is a little technical, but it's my interest a lot about the challenges of the technology right now. So I want to raise one challenge specifically which is consistency. So I know that Laura is working on image to image or whatever multimodal models. So people are fighting with concept for a lot, and this is the key to commercialize the model. For example, I want generate a lot of images and videos within for specific person, or I want to generate the design or photos for specific product. We cannot change the character or maintain the same thing. So could you share a little bit about this challenge and what's the current status going on? Yeah.
Can you please specify the question? What do you mean by saying from specific people to image?
Let's for example, for text to image or image to image models, or image to like text to video models, we typically we want the people we want the character to be consistent. Let's say I want to create a digital model for my e-commerce product, like clothing, but I want that person in every photos. For AI models, it can be either auto-regressive models or diffusion models, right? Basically dominating the text domain or the image domain, but they are all black boxes, and it's like basically random generated. Right?
Yeah.
So I want a lot of consistency. For example, I want to make a book of images. I want a character to be kind of go through all the books from the chapter 1 to chapter 100, right? I want that story of that person. I want to generate the images. And also not only images for the product. Let's say I'm selling I'm selling a desk. Then I want the desk to be in a lot of scenarios, in a lot of home settings. But I want the desk to be that desk, not this is called consistency. So this is like one of the key challenges we using those models for the usage of commercially usage. So do you observe the tools and models, how it's going on right now, and what are the tips and status and practice that we can better keep the consistency?
Yeah. So we're using diffusion model actually. So I think that is the one quality of diffusion model. That way I only need to just explain to users. We just had the chances to generate maybe bad images which you are not satisfied. I can do more to rewards for rewards and also apologies, but we cannot confirm our images are always good. I think this is acceptable. For the models part, maybe that's the R&D people's stuff. They will train the model, whatever pre-training or post-training they can do more to increase the consistency, and that will be one of the biggest contributions to this industry. But for me, what I can do is to maybe think about how to make the product and the interaction flow looks better than before, because sometimes the inconsistency will surprise users. I always listen to such complaints like if they also request like what you said, because for our company we are doing real estate AI, just the virtual staging. If they upload one image of the empty room, we will help them to stage the whole room, and the photo looks like the real photo, and they just want to maybe keep their original furniture, or they want the same furniture in different rooms, different images. They want to they want to keep the consistency as well, but we are also facing this problem, like in a very low probabilities we will generate some maybe not satisfying photos. So I think this part is more related to product design, how to combine this small point into the whole workflow to appropriately tell user that we're now doing some mistakes, but also make them acceptable. Yeah.
Thank you. Jie, want to add something? And other like challenges of this AI plus design and HCI kind of things that you observe?
This one just reminds me some research. We can find those research papers later after the podcast. I don't remember the author and title, but I remember seeing research at CLI. Specifically, people call it like a direct GPT. You know, it can point to exact the space or the image to change. Just directly modify that part of the image or a piece of text. So there are already a lot of research and product design going on this consistency, I believe. But I also think that might also be, I never used it, extensively, like you said, generating a series of connected images myself. But I do see people using DALL-E, this kind of prompt to image models, generating scientific images for their articles. So I asked that person, I said, "What? Okay, this kind of style, how did you create them into a very systematic or consistent way?" He said he just used a specific prompt. And just to specify, I want to have this sketch style, and then afterwards he do a lot of Photoshop himself just to correct the inconsistency. So that's also a matter of skill. So how much you want AI to do this kind of work? You just leave the design work completely to AI, or just still let AI, complete 60% of work, and the final 40%, the designers want to do something themselves to make the aesthetics or consistency to their appeal. That's just it's something I'm thinking about.
So sounds like if you try to use AI to generate the expert level UX, you still personally, like the person who use AI first need to have some their own thinking about how to make UX better. Maybe even need to be a UX expert, so they know how to generate the right prompt language to prompt AI to get a better product, right?
Yeah, so for me, it's more like if we are talking about this, so AI is getting adaptive, they are not just generating content, but also learn from our corrections. For example, I mentioned this example, you can point to the image saying, I want to change that head to a head with glove. So there are already adaptive AI systems can do that. So they learn from users' corrections, and they tailor their behaviors according to the user's needs over time. I think Laura can talk about the lovable AI, right? We were chatted about the lovable AI for our next study, but I haven't used it yet. Lovable AI is something like code-free, low-code platforms, enabling non-technical people like me to build prototypes and interfaces. And I also believe they can, correct things and adapt things based on constant user inputs and corrections. I think that's going to be the future trend to improve the consistency.
Laura, do you want to add something?
Other things like semantic alignment. I think Vicky, you mentioned something. You have to really understand what we are building, because you have to describe it, articulate it so clearly what you want to build. It's like a pizza order app, but you have to describe it in a very, very, very detailed way. So we saw a YouTube video during our team meeting with Laura. So even just such a simple web page with a table on it, and that person described like a huge paragraph like that, and we can clearly see that person, he knows about all the terminologies about UX design. So I cannot imagine people who are not from UX background or who are just learn about UX design can articulate an interface like that. So that's also a lot of training about this semantic alignment between user intent and the AI system output.
Going back to the question about Wiki, you say that we need the design prompt, and the VP need the design sense to do the prompt. I want to add on as developer. Recently, we are kind of using AI to generate prompt or guessing prompt. We're surprised to find that DeepSeek is super kind of smart to guessing the prompt. You giving a design and giving whatever things, and you say that give me like very professional prompt, and it can generate quite well. Just want to add this. Laura, do you want to add more for the questions? And also you shared about the design flows. I'm very curious about your really design flows. What tools are you using, and what's the flow that you think is kind of more convenient for people to use these tools to working for big design projects?
I think we just want to design the like the flow for users, so they when they see some like less qualified images, they will not be surprised. I think this is what we are trying to do. So the design flow, I refer to this. And for the keep consistency part, I'm also thinking about maybe we can make the prompts, we can modify the prompts, and so the output will be better. But I know sometimes if we ask the models to do so many things at the same time, they may increase the hallucination. So I think this is product decision making. Maybe product manager, designer, and also the R&D part, they should talk together about how to balance the commercialized side and the model side.
Yeah, for the design flow, Jie want to add something, how to input for the design overall flow in the areas of AI?
I want to talk about something completely different. I mean, nowadays, if we talk about authorship, like I recently submitted an article to ACM Interactions. Of course, I used AI to generate one image. So the editor came back to me asking me exactly the model I used to generate and the prompt I used. Of course, I answered honestly. But I also realized I can add a disclaimer saying I used AI tool, this prompt to generate this image, but the result is not reproducible. Like people can use the same model, same prompt, but they cannot get the exact image. And nowadays, all about ethical design, those things are all about just adding a disclaimer. Like for scientific publications, we just say, okay, we use the GPT to help us correct grammar issues. But it's not just about adding a disclaimer. I think it's the whole design flow, the authorship, it's more complex to just adding a disclaimer. It's more about rethinking the workflows from the ground up. Like I generate this image, using AI apps. The AI app might steal, from other designers' work for me to generate this image. But I'm a user of this AI tool. So somehow, how can the whole community benefit, get the credits from the AI tool using their work? That's also like a big question to discuss.
Just try to summarize what we talked in this piece, right? I actually learned two things. One is for the use cases, right? So the two typical use cases in the UX right now, one is try to build up the prototype, sounds like. There's like a start from zero, try to let people see what looks like. It can speed up the process and get a quick result to show people, right? The other scenario is kind of like, okay, if you're an expert and you try to manage your project without additional people's help, maybe AI can help you in a better way because you know how you have that expertise, you know how to generate the better prompt, and then you can get a better result from the AI product, right? And also, it's quite interesting to understand AI actually plays a part in the creativity part, right? Because you just mentioned, like, no matter, even though you guys use the same model, use the same prompt language, but the result can be different. In the middle, that part of the creation actually happens from AI, which is super interesting for me, Yeah, so I also want to ask from the technical standpoint regarding the challenge, right? From the AI perspective, normally when we talk about the AI, we talk about model, we talk about the data, we talk about infrastructure and application, right? But from your standpoint, currently, which part is a bottleneck or most challenging piece to make the UX AI portion in better progress?
Yeah, I think nowadays you just see so many tools. Like basically every week we are researching on these vibe coding tools. Like every week we just hear about new tools, new companies. So there are like millions of tools being designed, being put into the market, but the understanding the user intent still lags behind. That's my clearly seeing the challenges. So products already exist without having users using them for extended amount of time. So that's a bit different from previous product design development circle. We do enough user testing. We put the trial period, of long enough to understand users and keep on improving the tools. So I just see that's the biggest challenge, and which needs a lot of user studies into it, not just keep on building new tools without putting users into the systematic consideration.
Oh, okay. Sorry, from what I have reserved, I think the biggest issue was trust issue, and also how to evaluate the result. Like what I said, maybe the designer will do some prototyping and also maybe generate the front end code, but how can we trust the code, and also who can evaluate those code and to do the final decision making? So I think this is the most challenging part. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
from
for other tasks, actually, there are data sets and benchmarks, right? The design like a little weak. Do you observe any kind of standard benchmark people are making, or you think it's kind of quite impossible for a benchmark to be set up in the design area to do evaluation?
For the front end code, right?
Yeah, for whatever front end code.
Yeah. So I think if you ask a front-end engineer to do the evaluation, that would be good. But if currently the designer they do the stuff and also they want to push the things forward, maybe they can also learn more about machine learning and also to have the basic image of front-end coding, so they can also help with the evaluation. But currently, like what you said, maybe just ask the front-end engineer to do the evaluation. Yeah.
So from the product standpoint, right? I know you guys still working on the web coding, but like from the UX product standpoint, what kind of North Star they currently have, and what kind of measurement you guys normally use to decide, okay, this product actually is a good product?
My own experience, I don't think there is a mature product like AI for design product yet. Just something just skipped my mind. I want to talk about something, but I'll get back to it.
Laura, do you want to add something here?
Yeah, maybe not like perfect product, but since my daily most of my time in my daily work, I talk to a lot of our customers. So I think what products make them happy, make them satisfied will be a good product. So just try to satisfy them and make sure the workflow will not confuse them. Yeah, and also finally it will appears on your earnings, the revenues. This is the biggest metric. Yeah, who will pay your product and how many people? Yeah.
Yeah, I also one thing is like when I worked with consultancy companies, I work with multiple clients. They always use a rubric or metric to measure success as like return of investment. So I also just want to pose the question here: do you still think return of investment as like a key metric to evaluate AI product? So for me, it's like where are humans? Do you still really trust fully autonomous AI in our future? So, which aspect we want AI to operate in a fully autonomous way? In which area we don't want AI to be fully autonomous? It's just because we're talking about this with companies. They always say, okay, we put this AI product to market. What will be the return of investment? Can you estimate that for that? And I find it's impossible to answer this question because there are so many aspects about human AI, how we can shape that through our values. So we have empathy, it's just how we are going to evaluate that.
Yeah, it's quite interesting if you think from this perspective, right? For other products, it's not at the level of the interaction like human and AI can do, right? It's more like how people use AI can actually impact the final result about how much AI product can return.
Yeah. So I can give a very bad example. Actually, I hate this example, but I need to tell it. It's like, have you noticed sometimes when you check the exact flights, if you check on Sunday evening versus check on Tuesday morning, the price can be like 2,000 difference. I mean, I just long-distance flights, so because I'm booking one flight for one speaker of my event. And we were just doing this experiment, So I just felt out, okay, I'm being targeted with some AI algorithm. So they somehow profile me as a high spender because I'm always booking business class flights for my speakers. So they just, for me, if I check those flights, my price will be 2,000 more expensive compared to my friends checking on her browser. So it's also AI algorithms, but somehow I just felt my value and my benefits their erosion. It's like an erosion of my benefits, right? And this is going to be our future, and this is happening right now.
I want to raise a similar question regarding your questions. Because of AI, the UI interface right now on the internet is changing, right? People are getting more used to use like chatting mode instead of searching mode or browsing mode. And also recently there are a lot of agentic tools coming out, for example menus. They are using a UI, kind of you can see everything that operating behind the agent, like calling the like different tools, making things binding together, whatever. So for the UI part, do you see if we design a product for AI or AI-based product, any kind of training or like modifications, and the UI is currently changing? That's my questions. Another thing is for echoing, your question is basically regarding the AI search. People are kind of talking more with AI to get the results, saying you can even ask AI to book a ticket for you. But it seems that the decisions depend on AI. He picks the right one for you. How you can trust him or the AI, right? So this kind of things that people are really also heavy researching right now. This is a very hot topic right now. Yeah. Do you want to add something for the UIs, like keep changing things in the AI area for these observations, Jie?
I think Laura has better idea of the UI, right? For me, like I still feel most UI design are conversational based. So I'm mainly using ChatGPT and some. I recently started to use another AI tool for literature study. I suddenly forgot the name. So it's also like they help you, building a network of literature based on the initial inputs of the literature you put there. You said, okay, I want to start with these 4 articles as the main literature review for my paper, and they are going to build the network around this 4 paper based on the cross citations. So that one, it's still like
is it like lit or something? Yeah,
it's called the something like lit maps.
Lit maps.
Yeah, little maps. That's so for me, these are like more. They have like more like a drag at the place, even on the network, and I can just drag a new paper to the network. And they are building a new map for me, and in the end, I can have a summary, of the paper I put there, and which was really helpful for me just to get the initial idea. The basic structure of my related work session of my paper. So that's I think that interface is quite the learning curve is very relatively low as well, and it's more custom made for research purpose. But there's a drawback, like I don't really trust the papers it offered me just to take a view, because the algorithm worked behind is like the winner take it all. So the paper who got a lot of citations, they are always being recommended as like your first option, but not always the best option. So that's I think I saw some drawbacks of that model. And for other tools, I don't use many other tools. Maybe for transcribing the audio, it's still like you input the audio data, they get you output as texts. Yeah, I think Laura can add a bit more about the UI, the trends. I don't see much trends. I just say the trends will help me, to even make the process easier and giving me more robust models if I want to do more reliable work like literature research.
You mean the text to UI products, right? Yeah. Actually, I used several during the past year in the works, because maybe doing some prototyping, we need to have a basic prototype to the designers and they can understand more. So maybe something like Galileo, and also UiZard, and even Gamma, the AI PowerPoint stuff, they can also maybe do the website now. So many of those tools, they are doing this. And recently, there's another one popular tool called Ready AI. They can do the beautiful text to website or to UI, the output. So from this part, many people are using those tools.
Yeah. So, what topics in this area were hated or have now been fully discussed from your point of view?
Maybe some points are like for me, I can share some of my opinions when I use those tools. I think some designs, they are less qualified because the aesthetics were not satisfying from my side, and also I think from the basic prototype part, the tools were really good because they can quickly generate the UIs and also just follow my prompts, but some could not follow the prompt and also make a total mistake. Just the different directions, like what I told the tools. Yeah. So and I think what's next was our designers still need to do a design to follow the design system in the company. This is I think the biggest challenge here, because every company has their design systems, and if you just tell the tool to do a simple UI design, they may generate they can generate something based on your thoughts, but they could not follow the company's aesthetics. So the designers should redo the work, and these tools could only help to make the designers know what you are thinking about, but they could not replace their work, or even could not be the starting of the work.
Cool. Jie, do you want to add something from academia area? What are the overhated or undervalued area in this field so far?
Academic, I would still use designers. I think the overhyped is AI will replace designers or replace researchers, replace UX researchers. I think this kind of sayings is overhyped, but it's too simple to say it in this way. I would say for research, I would like to do more longitudinal studies. Nowadays we just always spend a very short amount of time quickly run studies trying to understand people in a very short time. We miss these longitudinal studies of for instance, my daughter's generation. Can we just follow up their development over the 10 years and to see the long-term psychological impact of this generation relying on AI for creativity, and how do we train AI, not just train people, just kind of scaffolding AI, train AI in a way to respect diversity in design, diverse design philosophies. That's I think that's something under discussed, and overhyped is more about AI is going to replace us. But I think I want to, if I get funding, I would like to do longitudinal long-term studies of psychological impact of AI integrating in our society.
I want to ask one more question. Is about for the audience who want to know the areas better, AI plus UI and the design. Is there any books or material or any kind of thing that you want to recommend?
Books. So for myself, I'm currently reading a book. I'm among it. So it's called A Strategy for Human-AI Symbiosis. So it's written by my partner of my company, the research organization HISA. So why I point you to that book? It's she has a background in neuroscience. They often use AI to explain the data before, and she had 20 years in industry, helping companies deploying AI. So that book collect a lot of business cases, and she used also this human-AI symbiosis. It's like a metaphor, it's a metaphor human and machine cannot really live in a symbiosis because biologically we don't align. But she mentioned a lot of examples about how we can live with AI in a mutualistic way. We benefit each other, or in a parasitic way, like the example I mentioned earlier about AI targeting, profiling me on my internet behavior in order to sell me more expensive tickets. So that's a book I'm currently on, and I would like, if you want to learn about what is happening in industry and what are the business cases there about human-AI collaboration and AI products, that's a book to go for. It's called A Strategy for Human-AI Symbiosis.
Laura,
let me just double check if it's the correct title. I think that's the title.
Yeah, for me, I recently just watching some YouTube videos because I want to learn the models and also follow the trending, maybe research in this in the LLM industry. Yeah, so I just look like OpenAI, open videos, and also IBM research, Google DeepMind, etc. Yeah, just read those papers and help me to understand how models work, and maybe in the future product design, how we can design the flow, help users better improve their experience.
Well, okay. So, I'm also curious about a few quick questions, right? And number one is, what will be the future focus of you guys' work? Yeah. I know you guys doing the continuity research together, right? What will be the next?
Let's talk about our next study. We are studying actually on vibe coding. So it's so we decided to focus on a specific type of AI to design product. So it's a category of product, not just one product itself. But we just started the interview process. So hopefully we can publish another impactful paper as we did in CHI 24.
Cool. And then second one is during your first research. I think it's quite successful because of the number of the citation, right? But if you try to redo the research for 3 things, what are they?
Okay, 3 things. I want more people to help me writing, to help us writing, right? Let me think about 3 things. Yeah, it's always nice to have more samples, we only have 20 users, in-depth interview. So each interview took 1 hour, and we focus on European UX designers and UX designers, UX designers in US. So the sample is not really representative because we didn't really include other countries and ethnic group. That's something we want to expand if time and funds allow. And another thing we want to study is that study is more people's perception about the Gen AI tools on their workflow. So if we have the chance to observe to a certain period of time, for example over a year, to observe how each designer is using the generative AI tool and how their workflow is gradually changing over the year, that will be even more insightful than just asking them to imagine imagine the future. So that's the second thing we want to change. And third thing is I hope the writing process, like a data analysis process, can be easier. Because somehow we don't really fully trust AI to help us do the qualitative data analysis. As a researcher, I don't know if you do qualitative data analysis. You can throw things in all these kind of tools, ask them to summarize for you, but it's always over summarized. Like you just lost all the nuances in your data. So that part we still did it manually with 5 of us, right? Our co-authors. We sit down, we went through all the notes, we went through all the transcripts, and we note down the highlights inside transcript. So we still did it in a very traditional way, and it's most impactful way. If AI can somehow evolve to a certain point to help us ease this procedure, that's also something I would like to change.
Laura, anything you want to add?
Yeah, I think Jie mentioned enough. I do not have more to make up for this.
Cool. The last question we try to understand is what changes in point of views have occurred in the past 6 months, and what do you predict for the next 1 year and 3 years?
I think the changes for me is nowadays I somehow can easily see all these images created by AI, and I'm so tired of it. So now I start to value more, if I see I'm currently designing the book cover because every year at CHI we also have a country CHI, in the Netherlands. I'm in charge of CHI Netherlands. I'm also designing the cover, and I just enjoy just opening my Illustrator, drawing each shape myself and compose them together and pick the color scheme myself, and I can clearly tell, I can be very proud I generated this design myself, that's not some AI produced. And I can even collaborate with another designer, just fine-tuning the shape of it. So I can see at beginning, I was optimistic about AI democratizing creativity because I don't need to create an image for my boss's PowerPoint, and she can do it herself. But now I'm more cautious. So I just I don't want us just to lose our creativity, lose this enjoyment, creating something. I think that's something make us moving forward. You just feel something you are doing is meaningful, not just sitting there waiting for AI to give you 10 beautiful outputs and you pick one to fit into your slide.
Laura, how about you?
Yeah, I think in the past 6 months, I feel much more worried than before. Maybe because we are all in the Silicon Valley, right? We saw many people they are being laid off, and also every day I receive many the applications from some laid off people and some juniors. I know many people there. For some junior people, they could even not get one maybe interview. Currently, the job market for juniors it is very bad, like than maybe 5 or 10 years before. So I think this trend will be more serious in the future. And also for us, like we had work experience, I think we have the privilege. We can think about how to embrace AI. But for some juniors, they are facing the very challenging situations. So I just feel a little bit worried as well. So just trying to learn more like model stuff, and so in the future maybe I also want to I also want to do my own project, so I can maybe take the fully control of the all things. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, we have been talking about a lot today. So we are wrapping up the podcast right now. Before we end, do you have any more comments and something want to share to the audience? Yeah. How about you, Jie?
For me, actually, I want to do a little ad. So for the organization I'm working at, it's called the HiSide, where we are having a Hi Summit. So it's an AI summit organized by us, and it will happen in October, so on October 29 to 30th in Zurich. And so now we are gathering, leading speakers from both academia and industry. So you can think about HCI professors, Hiroshi Ishii, Albrecht Schmitz, Paul Lukowitz. So these 3 big professors have confirmed to me to be speakers. We are also receiving confirmation from chief AI officers from major tech companies. So I mentioned here because this event is not just a commercial event. We are nonprofit organizations. We are welcoming individuals and even students to submit their AI cases. So any case about Human-AI Symbiosis, your reflections, good experience, bad experience, you can submit to our HiSide award. And we have a lined up juries to evaluate your submission in any kind of format. It's anything you can tell your story. The format doesn't matter. If you are the winner, we are going to give you awards, of course, a prize, and also invite you to the event. It's just a little ad about the event I'm currently organizing.
Yeah, thank you.
For this event, what's the specific theme this year, or it's just a general?
It's Human-AI Symbiosis. It's just our inaugural event of the research organization.
Yeah, I'm excited to know the result. Maybe
I'll share the webpage after the podcast. You may put the link to the podcast.
Sure, maybe after summit we can have the other session to talk about the insights and the trends in this area. Yeah.
And also I'm the main organizers for Kai 26. So any years, papers, work, interested in submitting, and you're also welcome to submit to Kai 26.
For the people who's not familiar with Kai, right? Can you give some quick description about this one?
Kai is like a flagship conference. I would say if it's, I think it's a top one conference.
Yeah, I know, but like our audience is right. Yeah,
the computer interaction field. So at actually 26, we are going to have a major change in the conference format. So we are going to cut down a lot of small submissions, like we used to have a special interest group and the doctoral consortium, student competitions. There's so many tracks, and people are getting overly busy at the conference. And we even force people to work on weekends. So for Kai 26, we are going to change the format. So we still have this kind of a group work, like workshops, and we are not going to call them like a special interest group anymore, but more about in the morning session, we are going to have a papers, scientific paper presentations. In the afternoon, it's all about networking and the group work, like workshops. And we don't want people to work on weekend. So people come and enjoy the conference and also enjoy the conference as a networking opportunity, not just a knowledge sharing opportunity. So yeah, we're still working on the changes. So I'm already getting prepared to be blamed by all the changes, but I hope it's pointing the community to a correct direction.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah. I have to go. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice chatting with you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.